Good afternoon, families. It is Sunday, September 7th, 2025, and I'm coming to you with our first official Aviator flight log vlog for the year. So this is how this is going to work. You'll get an email. Obviously, if you're watching this, you have and you found the link. There is a link and an email that'll come out every week where I will go through all the important things that are happening, and it'll always start with my top two. So right off the bat, we're going to get into our top two. Here's our top two for the week. Just want to say thank you to all the families for a fantastic and wonderful start to the year. Now, Miss Mueller and I are hoping to see you at Lake Bluff Family Orientation at about 7:10 p.m. on Thursday this week in our rooms 223 and 225. There we're going to review any important information all about this school year and hopefully answer any questions that you might have about stuff that's coming up. Now, other important things on our stack. We filled our warm fuzzy jar, which is a way that we receive compliments around the school as we are making good choices as a class, practicing things like walking quietly, staying in a straight line, following directions when we're in specials. When we do that, we get to add and do something fun. So, students gave me a bunch of different ideas. Then they voted on the top two that I picked. And this Thursday afternoon at school, we are going to have a disco-themed fun afternoon. So there's nothing that you are required to do. Just hopefully hear all about it on Thursday afternoon. And that'll get us right into our vlog points for the week. Now, assignment notebooks and take-home folders came home this week. So please note, those are going to come home daily. Please check them with your student, clean them out, especially that stay-at-home pocket. Check for any other important information or papers that came home, and then remind your student that they, not you, should put it back into their backpack for the next day. Next, in that take-home folder spot, you should have found a picture form because Picture Day is coming up on Thursday, September 18th. That form in there is easiest to fill out if you scan the QR code and fill out that form online. If that's not your jam, you can always fill it out, throw some things in there, and send it back with your student before Picture Day so we have that ready to go. Other things coming up. We begin FastBridge testing this next week. Students will be taking a little bit of time on their Chromebooks and a little bit of one-on-one time with me to measure any independent aptitude they have in math, reading, language arts, and oral reading fluency assessments. Now, I always remind students to just stay calm and focused, and that will help their ability to just work successfully to the best that they can do. Any information and data that we receive from these assessments is always used to and inform, not really dictate, our instruction and our support of all the students' individual educational academic learning needs. So just know if you have any questions about that, orientation on Thursday is a great spot. Now, in English language module block this week, we started building a classroom crew by reading a book, Ada Twist Scientist, all about being curious and solving problems and noticing interesting things, funky smells specifically in the book, and then using our inquisitive and wondrous brain to try and answer some of those questions. We then discussed the definition of the word infer as it pertains to our learning targets in our first unit. We are learning to discuss and record all the things that we notice and wonder about the resources in our classroom. And then we use those resources to infer the concept, lesson, and topic of our learning, which we've found out is learning challenges and differences near and far, because not all students have access to and experiences like we do right here at Lake Bluff in Shorewood. So, look for more information about the interesting and different ways that people all around the world access books and education as we move forward into the fall. In math, Ms. Miller had students practice small partner activities and work on familiar math counting routines, specifically counting a collection of objects using different counting strategies and counting by different amounts, 5s and 10s and things like that. In our social studies block of time this week, Students combined in a gigantic class where we played a get-to-know-you bingo game where they went around and tried to fill out a bingo sheet, finding out who has 3 siblings or can name 3 different states. Kind of fun. Then we got to choose a writing assessment prompt, which is a would you rather, meaning every student got to choose a question. Like, here's an example. Would you rather have it rain for 3 days or snow for 3 days? And then they had to write about the why and draw a picture. Really kind of fun. One of the last points of our vlog this week, we started reading a chapter book, as we do often in lots of classes. We do this sometimes at the end of the day or in guided study as our routine fits. We took a Choose Your Own Adventure book to start our year. If you're unfamiliar, readers get to choose between 2 options every few pages in the story to decide which direction the story should go. If, as always, something goes wrong or we don't like our choices, we can kind of rewind or back up pages. But our first book, The Cave of Time, has 40 different endings. We went for a hike out in the wilderness and walked into a dark cave, and as it began to rain, we found ourselves mysteriously transported to the medieval period with a castle and knights. We were captured, sent to a tower jail cell because the king did not believe we were from the future. We escaped that tower and then walked to a nearby village where we discovered we are somewhere in the 16th century on the shores of Loch Ness, Scotland, home of the fabled Loch Ness Monster. So, as we continue to work through that book, stay tuned for our vlogs to find out all the information about what happens next. So, I'll always wrap up with a little bit at the end here, but on the email, and you'll see this in the description as well on YouTube below, please take time to make reading a nightly priority, part of your routine. 15 to 30 minutes of nightly reading always will help students calm down, prepare to rest, builds vocabulary, and of course, it always creates amazing memories. So, if you want to keep in the know, click like and subscribe to our flight log vlog each week and follow any of the links in the email below if you're curious and watching any of the other ones from any of my previous years. But I hope you have a fantastic and awesome weekend. The weather was gorgeous. We're in the middle of the, I believe, second half, so go Pack Go if you're a football Packer fan. And I will see you next week. Bye.